Gnocchi, gnocchi.
Hey there, friendo.
I I've come with zero notes.
That's all right.
I come
I have
with
a bunch of things I
barely any
want to talk about.
information. Yeah, good. Um, I'll be the what if kind of what about guy today.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and hit the theme song.
I hope I can hear it this time.
Do you hear it? Is there a way I can?
I'm not worried about hearing it. It's all right. I do enjoy it. I already got an unstable connection. Isn't this great? This is gonna be fun.
It'll be fine. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. Hey, 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 hey.
A ba boom boom. A ba boom
A
boom
boom, 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 and a zoom, zoom, zoom. Welcome to Super Serial.
My friend.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Life's been happening, you know, the
Life
usual.
has been happening.
And that's great. We want life to happen. Sometimes life should not so easy. And you know, you good? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I can hear you. I was checking my brightness
Uh-huh.
because it seemed like I couldn't see myself, but I realized that the lighting was bad.
Oh,
The
okay.
lighting is fine, but I couldn't see it. It was the brightness. I'm like,
Gotcha.
when I do this, look at how bright my glasses get.
Wow, that's
It
quite
makes
a
me,
reflection.
yeah, I think I really maybe need to put contacts in to start doing this.
Maybe. I've never, I've honestly never yeah.
It's quite distracting. I find it to be distracting when
Yeah.
we're doing this.
Mm,
My
mm.
glasses. If I'm trying to look something up or something like that,
I
feel like.
concur.
Yeah. All right, so here we go.
So what are you drinking? As
Out
is
of
tradition.
Southington, Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
Kingsman Brewery.
Uh-huh.
This is their Idiocracy. It was bottled today. I watched
Wonderful.
them do it.
That's great.
I have zero information on it. I can give you information on the company itself,
All right.
but the beer itself, I believe, if I remember the menu correctly, it said it was a Groot or something like that, like G or like almost like fruit, but GR instead of FRUIT.
Interesting.
UIT, so I would pronounce that Groot. Yeah.
I am Groot.
Yeah, that's exact. Well, I didn't think about it until I said it out loud.
I am Groot.
I'm drinking this out of a Shebeen glass.
Wonderful.
From Wolcott, Connecticut Brewery.
Wonderful.
And
can we get a description of the beer? Want to taste it or?
So let's see. It's definitely it's got citrusy tones to it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Not heavy.
Okay.
Doesn't feel like a heavy. It's pretty solid though. You really can't see through this much at all.
Yeah, it looks kind of murky.
I would say, yeah.
It's got like particulate in it.
I see no settlement.
Mm-hmm.
It's times like this I wish I had a flashlight in my pocket.
Yeah, right?
You know, noticing reflections of what is that?
Feels like about opacity of about 50%.
Yep. It's good.
Cool.
It's good. They had a Bruce Wayne. That's what I was drinking when I went there.
Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne. Oh, I like that.
Okay.
Is it dark? Was it dark beer?
It was a dark stout. It was a milk stout.
Thank
Dude,
the Lord. If it
like
wasn't a dark beer, I was going to shut this off.
It had two. Of course, I'm going to drink the only stout that's there. It had two asterisks on each side, and each side of it was like contains lactose. And it's like it's a fucking milk stout. Like,
yeah,
I don't see gluten free anywhere on any of this, but I'm like, all right, so it was lactose. You know, I would think of lactose as milk. That's what I'm pure lactose. I think milk.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how many people are out there like? But I realize that
they sip the beer and they're like, oh, excuse me, sir.
Did you not label
does this beer
lactose on this beverage?
I'd like to speak to your manager, please.
Triggered.
Immediate triggered.
Triggered.
So I, sir, am drinking 10W40.
Get out of here,
Imperial
dude.
Stout.
Do you like how I just went like this to try to read it better?
10W40.
There we go. Hold it right about there for me. It's Imperial Stout, brewed with coffee, chocolate, and vanilla, aged in bourbon barrels.
Yes, sir.
Bourbon barrel aged. I like how they say it's aged in bourbon barrels, then right underneath it, they're like bourbon barrel aged. In case you didn't
I didn't
remember
realize that.
the last fucking
and
sentence.
I'm drinking it out of out of a proper stout glass.
Look at
Brooklyn
you.
Brewery.
Brooklyn Brewer, they makes
Gift
good beer.
gift from
I
Mama
like it.
Duke's. Never been there.
They're probably like, yeah, I actually have. Speaking of, that's awesome that you got those glasses because I got a set of these four
I know.
glasses
You had
from
those.
Brooklyn.
You had those
What
already
is
when I
this
was
right
there.
now? Are we inadvertently doing ads for breweries?
So
No,
so
I
sh-
didn't.
oh, by the way, this is Highwire Brewing. So shout out to Highwire and also
Yeah,
Brooklyn Brewing.
yeah. Thank you, all beer makers.
Thank you everyone who makes beer.
Thank you,
Yep.
everybody who makes beer. Period.
Because I
Um,
wouldn't be making it.
but the thing that cracks me up, dude, is like I truly do primarily drink Budweiser.
Yeah. Hey man.
Like that's
Oh,
my beer, dude. That's my go-to beer. So it's so funny that like I just had all those instances, like the can, the glass, the other
yeah.
glasses. Those are like
Whatever, man. I
I've been
mean,
to two of those three breweries.
yeah.
You
Yeah, I
know.
don't know. I mean, you like what you like, and sometimes you're in the mood for a shitty beer, and I mean, if you're planning on drinking 6 beers, you're not going to
Listen, that's
spend
the
three
thing. Yeah,
dollars
that's
each on
exactly
them.
why. Yeah. You don't need to call it shitty beer, dude. I like my Budweiser, dude. It's not
Okay, it's not
flavorful
shitty beer, but it's
It's
not
not.
good beer. It's okay beer.
It's
It's
decent beer.
you know what? It's beer. It's just
It's
beer.
beer, dude.
It's just
It's beer.
beer.
It's just
This
beer.
is good beer.
I do not want to have this argument with you right now, so let's just
It's not an
move on.
argument. It's a
I'm just
discussion.
kidding. It's a discussion. I know. Believe me, I agree.
Um,
It's the only thing I got, all right?
that's all I have.
That's all I have.
Please.
Besides my kid and my wonderful wife.
Yeah. So how are you? You good?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. Yeah. I'm doing good, man.
Oh,
I'm doing good.
Good.
Life. Yes, I'm doing good. Life is just, it's so fast paced.
yeah.
Everything goes by so fast. Everything happens so fast. Everything's just like constantly.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but I'm good. Life is good, man. Went out today. Went to Kingsman Place, which is awesome because they got.
What?
I'm seeing unstable again, dude.
Well, I think
this is gonna drive me
I
nuts
saw
all
it.
night.
I saw it on my end before too. My internet connection's not super great either.
Well,
but-
we do have a crazy storm going on right now.
Oh, do you?
We're supposed to be. Oh yeah, we're supposed to be getting hit with like 6 to 8 inches
Snow?
tonight. Yeah,
Wow.
a lot of snow coming. You're totally frozen too, by the way.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll come back. Well, let's just blast through everything we have to talk about real quick, and
And that's
the
it.
thing
That's what
about
we'll
it.
do. We'll get everything. Hour and a half worth of content in
Yeah.
15 minutes. Ready, set,
Yeah.
and go.
Go um, what was the thing we were talking about? The
thing
thing.
you sent me.
Yeah. What was it? I don't remember. Cause I remember all the other stuff I
God,
looked up.
You were talking about how bugs can
Oh,
see
right,
magnetic
right, right,
fields, and after multiple studies, this is what I saw about the whole thing. They found that this is something that almost everything has the ability to do, but they're not able to test it as fully and get concrete evidence of a lot of different things using it. Like there was one study back in the day. This is as far as I got with humans.
Mm-hmm.
How humans used to be able to do it. And it makes sense, man, because I remember watching a show that had talked about evolution. I feel like a going theme with you and I is evolution and everything like
Sure.
that. Just adaptation of all these different animals, but it seems like we're consistently coming up with new stuff. Something I saw a while ago was talking about how plants really have created the planet and turned it into the sustainable place for life as we see it, with mammals and insects and all these animals that have become what they are now.
Sure.
And it specifically talked about how plants evolved not only I hear quads going running down the road. Not only just talked about how plants specifically evolved for oh my god, defensive mechanisms, but it also talked about how they developed reproduction kind of things. They started. That's why flowers and everything like that, like plants.
Oh,
that have
from
the
like
ability to flower
pollinators and stuff
for
like that,
pollination,
and
for create.
and
You know what I mean?
plants
Not-
create fruit, so things will eat the fruit and spread the seeds out in their poop and stuff like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's
and
an
that
interesting way to
is-
think about the whole thing that
Yeah.
plants created all these, and everybody else is just playing a part.
in plant life is
Yeah.
really like rock and sediment and stone and all that kind of thing that they do. It create old stone creates air. There's air in things. You know what I mean? So
Sure.
it's my brain just went somewhere else totally off the tangent, but the idea of that makes sense to me of why we know that bugs can see in magnetic fields and everything like that, because
They don't
talk-
necessarily see it, but they feel it.
they sense
a
it.
sense, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, it's much of sense.
Well,
But
that's so
I
you haven't even
really
said
do.
that yet. That's what we're talking about. The article that we're talking about is
Yes.
the idea that humans have somewhere in them like a protein in in our eyes
Chroma.
that a chromatophore.
It's not even that in depth. No.
I think it is
Chroma something or
it's
others.
chromatophore or chroma. Yeah, I think it's chromatophore.
I didn't even think
Whatever,
it
not
was that.
important. A thing that's in our eyes that potentially at one point did allow us to sense magnetic fields. Some people believe that we can still sense magnetic fields, but they
Cryptochrome.
cryptochrome. Thank you. Chromatophore is
Cryptochrome.
something else.
Yeah.
Chromatophores are what squids use to change their colors.
Gotcha. Same
That's what a
thing that's
chromatophore is.
probably
Cuttlefish.
cuttlefish. We could just talk about cuttlefish all
Oh yeah.
day
Well,
right now.
let's save that for another episode.
We'll go back to that.
So what I ended up looking up. So the whole moral of this whole thing is some people believe that we do still have this ability to sense magnetic fields, which there have been studies that kind of suggest that we maybe do. But they even found that the flies have this ability and use the exact same um, system to sense magnetic fields. And if they genetically remove it from them and then take one from a human's genes and put it into the fly, it works the same way, but only if they bathe the fly in blue light. So it's activated by the blue light. Really
Ah, that's
strange,
right.
man.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It did
really
say. I
wild.
remember. Yeah, it's some wild stuff, man.
Yeah, but
It
that got me
really is.
thinking. Like, it'd be cool to talk about other interesting, weird sensory things that happen with humans. Um, because being able to sense magnetic fields is, with our own biology, is maybe a possibility, or maybe it's something we can just do a little bit of genetic tweaking and maybe turn on. But have you ever heard of the people that get magnetic implants into their body?
No, I mean you're talking like I've heard of people like wearing bracelets and shit like that. Is
No,
it
but
something
as
similar
if
along those lines,
well,
kind of thing?
basically, if you, not really, if you put a magnet under your skin, like if you wrap it in like silicone, so your body will interact with it, and
Hmm.
you implant it like under your skin, like maybe like in your finger, for example, where you have a lot of nerve endings, right? You'll be able to sense magnetic fields because it will vibrate. It'll hum a little bit because it's a magnet and it picks up on, you know, energetic fields like that. So
Right,
like when you
right.
turn your microwave on, if you get close enough to it, you'd be able to feel a vibration, or the motor in your refrigerator, or walking out through like a sensor.
Bro, that would be cool if you lived in the fucking woods, dude. What are you gonna do when you gotta fucking drive your car and do like everyday shit at work? Every time I
Well,
touch my mouse, every
I
time
don't
I
think
type
it
on my
would.
computer.
I think it would just be over time, something like that would just become part of your normal senses that you would be able to pay attention to when
Oh
it's.
yeah, that would be interesting. But what's the advantage of that? It's
Well,
very
the other thing
interesting.
you'd be able to as well, like say for example, if you're an electrician, you'd be able to tell whether wires are live or not, because there'd be an electrical circuit that has a current running through it produces a magnetic field, and you'd be able to sense that. And also, you could touch things and tell whether there's iron in them, like different metals and stuff. So if you're like a jeweler or something, if you got good enough at the different
Oh, okay.
feelings, you know what I mean? It's not
Has this
super.
been
It doesn't have
applied?
a bunch
Has it
of
been applied
utility to the
science or
average
what?
person, but um, it could potentially have utility to some people. I
Yeah,
think it's an interesting thing. And people who are into like weird body modification have done stuff like that.
that's true.
Yeah, but I don't know.
That's
I
a
think
valid
it's a
point.
cool idea.
That's right. You used to have that fork holder on your fucking arm.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, I used to have dermal implants on
Your
my arm.
durable implants. That's right,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
That
and
was the best fucking Thanksgiving ever.
one of them got forcibly removed at in a mosh pit, and the
Yeah.
other one over time just got rejected out of my body.
Did it really? Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it started to just kind of raise up, and then eventually one side of it was kind of sticking out, and the other side was still growing into my skin, so I couldn't like yank it out. But it got to the point where I kind of had to just pull it out one
Pull
day.
it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I still have the scars. I have
Let me
like
see him.
two little scars. You might not be able to see them on camera,
Can't
but
see him right now.
they're like,
No. No, you can't see
yeah,
him, dude.
no, but they're
Yeah,
like here
they're there.
somewhere. But they
I
were cool
remember
while they lasted.
Jake had that. They were cool, man. They had like little fucking flathead fucking screw
Yeah, they
heads
looked
on
like
'em. They
screw
were neat
heads. Yeah.
looking. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, so we were at Thanksgiving, I think, or something, and I'm sitting there and I just slide my fork on it.
Yep.
Like
Because there
there
was a
was
little bit of
just like
space underneath them, and
two
you just
forks
shoot.
just on the thing, and I was like, ooh. I'm so happy I wasn't an asshole that day.
I know you could have just
That would have been a
you could have
horrible
just
thing to
tweaked it a
have
little bit, and
happened.
I've been like,
Yeah, yeah. I didn't. I didn't at all. I just stuck it
nope,
on there.
nope, because you're a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to mess
Yeah.
with
So
people all the time. I would tell them that that I had like some sort of, I don't remember what I would tell people, but I would mess with them and tell them that you could hook electrodes up to it and it would give me some sort of like electrotherapy or something.
well, that's exactly where we're. Yeah, that's pretty. All right. So anyway, let's get back to that subject at hand. That is a pretty wild thing to be able to do that with magnetic fields. So
Yeah.
being able to sense magnetic fields, it does make sense. There was a study that somebody was talking about in that article that you had sent me, and it was about a scientist who had done it. Of course, I can't reference his name; I don't remember. But he had blindfolded people and brought them around like
Mm-hmm.
windy roads and everything like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then he tried to get them to like point the
Make their way
direction.
back. Yeah.
You know what though, bro? You try to do that shit right now, dude. You know what blew my mind? Literally 3 days ago, I'm looking on Google Maps.
Mm-hmm.
I zoom way out, look at all the houses in the area of all the friends and everything like that. I noticed
Yep.
Jay's house, and I noticed the angle at which I would look at my front door
Yeah.
to think of where Jay's house
Uh
is fucking completely off.
huh.
The thought that both of us, and I noticed this last summer, of course, being at his house on a regular basis, seeing where the sun was setting, and when I would get home, where the sun was setting, in
Mm-hmm.
ratio to where I would think my front door would be pointing the same direction as his front door.
Sure.
Not the case at all. At all. But it's wild to think about how it probably is something that's inside of us to have had
It is.
that
I mean,
ability
we
to
we
be
just
able to
haven't
have
trained
that.
it. You know,
Not only that, dude, but just like
if you were born
situations
in the
where,
woods and you were
yeah,
raised by like Native Americans to be like a tracker, you know what I mean?
you're
That
going
shit
to
would
have a
be
more
second
consistent
nature to
reason
you.
to want to pay attention to something like that. You're going to use
Exactly.
something like that more consistently.
Right.
I
Right.
remember we were in Hartford at a concert. Somebody got sick. They got taken away in an ambulance. We had to go to the hospital. And I remember my sister was freaking out. And I don't know where we're gonna go. I don't know. And it was, I think it was kind of before like everybody had
Why was she?
GPS.
Wait. Why was she concerned? What was going on? That was
It
like your
was
ride or
it was
something?
no, it was no, it was an underage person
Uh huh.
that she was with
Oh, okay.
that ended up getting drunk. Um, and I remember her being like, "I have no idea which way to go." I'm like, well, we need to be over like there in the city, in
Yeah.
like Hartford.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got it, dude. I don't think I made one wrong turn.
Wow.
I legitimately do
Just
not
based
think I
off of
made
your
one wrong turn
directional
just because I
intuition.
was like, I know it's right over there.
Yeah.
I know that this
I usually have
specific
a pretty good
sense of
reliable set.
direction with
Yeah,
that.
like when it's I'm usually the go-to guy. Like if I take a trip with my mom somewhere where we haven't been, she just lets me handle directions because I just have like an understanding of where we
Yeah.
came from and where you
Mhm.
know.
Well, that's my thing too. Is my ability to find myself on a map, I think, is pretty good. I really want to start paying attention to topographical maps more.
Mm,
I feel like I want to get a topographical map of my area and everything because
that'd be cool.
it's the terrain around here is really really neat, and I wish I had like a detailed one. But I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to have the detail of as I see the property, like hiking and stuff like that. And the
Yeah, I
way
think it probably only goes in like 10 feet increments or something. It all
yeah, so
depends, but I think if you go to like town hall, I think you can find like I think they probably have topographical maps there, where they
yeah,
have like property maps and stuff like that.
it'd be cool, dude. Because I'd like to. I really like in hikes and stuff like that. I'd like to be able to trace it and stuff like. It's fun. Me and Kyle went on a hike down over there, Jake. The way that the valley goes and everything and the peaks, it's
Hmm.
wild the views that are out there. I mean, it's hard because there's really no peaks.
Right, to
You know
see
what I'm
a lot
saying?
of
So you're
trees and
still
stuff.
seeing, yeah,
Yeah,
you're not above the tree line in a lot of ways, so you can't.
yeah,
But you can see the hills out in the distance.
right, right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
cool,
So it's yeah, it is,
dude.
dude.
You gotta. I can't wait for you to come here, man. Us to go hiking, dude. Because
I
it's
know.
the view here is insane, and the mountains that just go on forever. They're called the
Ah,
Blue Ridge Mountains. They literally have a blue tinge to them, and you can see mountain behind mountain behind mountain behind mountain behind mountain behind mountain, like forever.
it
It's
bothers
awesome,
me so much that I don't see mountains and prairies and shit, Jake.
dude.
That's one of the things I do not like about where I live. Where I live in the area that I live, I feel like I got a nice little piece.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? I can go down my
for
buddy
sure.
Dave's house and see that view is
Yeah, he's
beautiful,
got a
dude, all
nice
the way
view
out to
over there.
Watertown and everything. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So it's like to me, I'm like, it's fine, dude. If I built a
Yeah,
big enough tower in my backyard, dude, it'd be a sick place to have a killer view. You know what I
hell
mean?
yeah, for sure.
Now, why not, dude? I should build an 80-foot guard tower.
Yeah, build an 80-foot tower. Yeah, that'll be a piece of cake. Weekend project.
Still think about putting, dude. I went for a little walk this morning, dude. I went outside, just walking around in the woods.
Bunker entrance right here.
No, dude. I want a big ass tree house, dude. I
Oh,
want one of the big ass
cool.
tree houses, dude. I think it'd be cool, man. But
That
that,
would be
dude, they're
cool.
ridiculous
What
now,
would you
dude. You
do
spend
with
so
it
much
though?
money.
You know, for the kid?
Probably, yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be pretty dope.
Yeah, that would
You
be
know,
cool.
you make them now, dude. They'd be fucking practically permanent, dude. You put real,
Yeah.
like, legit houses
Yeah.
on them.
Yeah, for sure.
It'd be cool.
Did you ever watch that show where they build tree
That's
houses
what I'm
for
talking
people?
about. Yeah, but
So
I'm not.
cool,
I
man.
wouldn't go that route, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
It'd be a platform at best, dude. Somebody break their leg fucking first 3 weeks, dude. One of my
yeah.
fucking buddies, and it's just
Oh
been.
yeah, weren't we gonna build a treehouse on your
We
property
were,
like
and it
about a
rained all
year ago
weekend.
or
Yeah,
something?
I was ready, dude. I had the money all set aside and everything, and then I'm sitting there, and I'm like, you know what, dude? I should probably build a shed. Like, I need to be practical, dude.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I mean?
true.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I need to be
anyways,
practical.
um, yeah. So the whole magnetic field sensing thing is pretty cool.
Yeah,
But one of the other things, speaking of like implants, there's this guy. Shit, I don't remember the guy's name.
it doesn't matter what the
It
guy's
doesn't
name
matter
is.
what the guy's name is, but this guy was born with a rare, like he's actually colorblind. Like he can only see in black and white
Black
and
and
like
white.
gray, which is a super rare form of colorblindness. And he decided, I guess he's like an artist, and he decided that he wanted to get an implant. Well, before it was an implant, it was like a piece of headwear that he wore that had a camera that dangled like right here, and
Hmm.
as the camera sees colors, it would create a vibration on his head. So
Okay.
he began to see colors as a vibration on his head. So he doesn't see colors, he
He's just
experiences colors as a
distinguished.
vibration, and then he got the thing implanted into his skull. So now when the camera senses different colors, he can see a much wider spectrum, and he can sense like the different it vibrates at a different frequency depending on the color that the thing sees, or if he's or collection of colors, depending on how close he is to it.
Yeah.
And he's like written color symphonies and stuff like that, in like to do the inverse, like do vibrations and then create the colors that would correspond to the vibrations he feels. Crazy shit, dude. But he's
Really?
yeah, really wild, and he's the only person on the planet that has this thing, because wouldn't really be super useful to anybody else, because
Right.
everybody,
Right. Right.
most people have the ability to see
Imagine that, though.
color.
Imagine all the unique people that have walked this planet, Jake, and those one little specific thing that they contributed was just compounded upon more research on that specific thing by other people and just continuing and improving and continue.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah, that guy
It
took
is.
a whole bunch of technology and well, it's crazy too because he had to find doctors that would even agree to do it.
You're
Like he had
agree to do it. Like
anonymous
that's the
doctors.
so wait a minute. So this was his plan.
It was his idea to do this, and he collaborated with some tech people to figure out how to do it. And then he decided, I want this thing in my skull. And he had anonymous doctors. Like he couldn't get like people to put their name on it, and doctors did it anonymously to implant it in his
That's
head.
bullshit to me, dude. Why doctors can't fucking do experiments like this sometimes? You know what I mean? Well, where's the
Yeah, I
edge?
think
Where's
the
where's the line?
whole
Where do you
medical
cross the line?
community. Yeah, I agree with you, man. But the whole medical industry is a pretty slippery slope, I feel like.
Yeah.
But then again, there'll be plenty of doctors to give you plastic surgery to make you look like a fucking freak show.
I know, right? Well, what
You
the
know.
fuck, man? I want a light bulb, dude. Just drilled in the fucking side of my head. When I have a good idea, dude, I just want to.
Well, what would deter? Are you deciding what ideas are good, or is it up to? I mean,
No, because eventually that's something like that would want to be done.
yeah, but I mean, what?
If doctors, I'm talking about if doctors didn't have scruples to things that they're like, I'm not
Yeah,
fucking putting my name on that. I'm not doing that for you.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
I mean,
look at the guy that they turned into a cat, dude.
yeah, dude, that shit is crazy. He
Come
has like
on,
his
I mean,
lips split and like all
oh,
these weird
dude. I
tattoos.
think he
And
died, actually. He died.
I think he did die. Yeah, a couple
Yeah, I
years
think
ago.
he did die. He died a couple years ago, yeah.
Yeah, that's I think body dysmorphia, I believe is the syndrome going on
Yeah,
there.
that's crazy.
Yeah. It's kind of sad to me when I see people take their body to such extremes like that, because it becomes their identity. You know what I mean? Like he's the cat
Oh,
dude,
yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah.
which is like,
Like the lizard guy, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, and hey, man, you teach their own. I'm happy you're doing it, dude. And if you can make a living off of it and everything like that. But like, dude, I'm already like, oh, I shouldn't have done these tattoos. And I'm like, F that, dude. I want more tattoos. I'm
Yeah.
like thinking about tattoos a lot lately. I want more.
I want more too, dude, so bad.
Mhm.
Um, But yeah, so that guy, that's like his thing, right? So he's this artist and he paints, but the reason, he paints based off of the vibrations that he gets in his head. So he doesn't know what colors he's
So
using.
he's okay. Wait a minute. So you're telling me that all right? So when he has the implant in, the implant
It's
itself
always
is
in. It's
all
always
right. So
in.
it's always in.
And he's had it for upwards of 10 years. So it's
Okay.
just
So
another.
he's
It's nothing to him now.
but the vibration that he is getting from what the camera told him is this specific color.
It doesn't tell him it's a color. It just sees a color
It
and vibrates
sees the color
accordingly.
and
So
vibrates
on
accordingly.
the
So
visible color spectrum, it picks up part of that, and then there's a corresponding frequency spectrum that overlays. In the programming of the machine, the color spectrum is overlaid with a frequency spectrum. So if he sees red, it vibrates. If he sees blue, it has a different vibration.
right, I understand that.
Okay.
But my thought is what kind? Now you said he does
He does
color symphony.
paintings. Oh
He
yeah,
does
I don't know a
painting.
whole lot about
Okay, all
that.
right. Well, listen, but he does legit paintings.
Yep.
But he's not seeing the color any different.
No.
Okay, so where's the benefit to this implant to his art?
He's not painting like portraits of people and stuff.
I understand that.
What
He's doing
he's
abstract painting.
painting an image that creates a certain vibrational sensation in his head, and he's kind of the only one who can even fully experience the art that he creates.
The art that he's creating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait a minute. So it's not something that I would look at and be like, okay.
I mean, you might, with the knowledge of how it was created, you might appreciate it in a different
how would
way.
I even look up
but
a piece of this dude's art right now?
You'd have if the way I found him was I googled colorblind. It was like colorblind here colors, and I think the dude came up right away. He's like he has like a bowl cut.
Colorblind artist. Here's colors. Yep, I see him right
Yeah.
here. Well, what the fuck? I've seen
What's
this
his
guy.
name?
Neil Harbison.
Yes, Neil Harbison. Yep, he did a TED talk about it and stuff. It was really neat.
Yeah. Okay, I think I did. I have.
Look up
definitely
go to
seen this guy
Google Images.
before.
Maybe you could find some of his paintings.
I am. That's
I
what
don't
I'm
think
looking
it's anything too crazy, but it's like combinations of colors that create like pleasurable
Yeah, that's
vibration
wild.
combinations in his head, I guess.
He's a cool looking dude. He
Yeah.
looks like a goofy kind of fun guy.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. So check this out. So he has another project where he got a different. I don't know if it's another implant or what, but he has some sort of He got something else implanted into his head, or something he wears or something. That what happens is there's a point of like heat on his head,
Yeah.
and the 360 degrees around his head correspond with the 24 hours of the day. So at perfect noon, the heat point is right in the middle of his head,
Come on.
and at midnight it would be at the opposite.
Opposite.
So he's able to experience what time it is by where the point is on his head, and then he wants to do it for a couple of years and then do experiments by messing with his own perception of time by slowing down or speeding up the rate at which the thing moves, and remove it from actually telling time.
So he
and
knows
to
what time it is automatically all
yes,
the time.
yeah, exactly, by a feeling that he has. But he wants to. I think the main reason he's doing it is he wants to experiment if he can mess with his own brain's perception of time by if it takes him only 5 hours to go around his head as opposed to 12 from front to back.
Yeah, but why would
What
he
is
want to
what is he gonna feel like? He doesn't want to
Right.
fuck. It's just an experiment. It's just an
It's an
artistic
to see.
experiment.
Because I'm like, damn, dude. Because man, think about how many times you're laying in bed and you're like, man, I think it's like 8:30, and you're like, it's 6:15.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like,
He would
imagine
always
actually
know.
just sitting there going,
Well,
oh,
check
dude,
this out, dude.
It is legit 6:24 right now.
Well, this guy's a living piece
knowing?
of performance art because he also did this thing where the color thing, the color vibration thing,
Mhm.
he put like a SIM card in it, like a cell phone SIM card, so people can send pictures directly to the implant. He gave like a handful of people on the planet permission to send images directly to the SIM card, and he doesn't get them. He never sees them. All he feels is the vibration, and they can do it while he's sleeping, while he's awake, whatever, and he'll feel it. And like that's just
That's
something
really
he's
wild.
super wild, dude.
That's wild.
Yeah, yeah.
That's seriously a wild thing to think about.
Hmm.
Wow, what's the end of it?
It's
You know
hard to
what,
even
though,
wrap
me and,
your brain around it though, because how do you even because he's had he's had it for 10 plus years, so it's just another. It's like the way you and I,
It's another sense.
hear birds. You know what I mean? It's like he just looks a certain way, and it's a certain vibration. He looks another way. It's a different vibration. It's always happening. bananas, dude. It's just, to him, it's like the way we see. You know, it's just another thing that happens in his body now.
It's so crazy as you think about every invention. I'm like thinking about like, cool man, how can you weaponize something like that? How can you make somebody a better combat fighter doing something
You
like that? How are you
you
gonna
really are an American, aren't you?
Yeah, I really am, dude, because I'm just like, but that's the thing is, you know what though, Jake, is the other side of it too. Is I've talked about this before multiple times. I've never brought it up in a podcast, but I've always thought about how if people's brains didn't go to how it could harm somebody else or advance somebody to become better than somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
and we created things and evolved things into things that can better help everybody else.
Well, that's
Think
the
about
thing
if all
about
of our
any piece of
technology was,
technology, dude.
I
Anything could
know,
be
yeah.
to harm or to help, you know, all of it.
Mhm.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
if you reverse engineered his technology, you could just mess with people's heads, I guess, you know.
That's what I'm thinking, right? How could you not? That's brain
I mean, it would
manipulation.
be something, yeah, something non-lethal, but
It's just like the light switch, you know what I mean? The cheese with the electrode on it.
the cheese with the electrode on it.
Yeah, think about a mouse, dude. You fucking
Oh,
keep
yeah.
eating them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't want to eat the cheese anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow, that's scary. I don't even. Wow. I feel uncomfortable now that we're getting on weird subjects. I don't like mind control shit, Jake. Thanks. But we're done here.
Oh fuck! What was the other thing? Oh, so on the other, in the vein of weird
In the
sensory shit,
vein. I just
in
pictured
the
a delta.
vein, a delta,
Yeah, I
What do you
pictured a
mean?
delta.
Like the
At the
a
edge of the
triangle?
ocean.
Oh,
A
thought you
vein.
meant like the Greek
Pictured
character
like a vein.
delta.
No. Like a delta. By a
I don't know.
fjord. By a, like maybe a fjord. Am
What
I
does
thinking
that mean?
of a
Just like
fjord?
is that like a mouth of
The
a?
delta, it's a mouth of a river that
Right.
breaks
Okay.
up where there used to be a bunch of ground, so it like veins all out.
Oh, okay. Neat.
Yeah. hmm Look it
Um,
up. You'll find a picture of a delta interesting.
but yeah, with that guy's
Go up your vein because
experience,
I'm gonna think about another one.
well,
Go
what
ahead.
that guy's experiencing is called the phenomenon is called synesthesia, which is where you experience some sort of sensory sensation, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah.
When you experience other things, like some people have synesthesia, where like while they're reading, different letters of the alphabet are a different color. Or some people have it in such a way that when they hear a sound, they'll literally like see a colored shape in the space in front of them, or crazy weird shit like that. And I imagine something like that's pretty closely linked to like schizophrenia, the way it's
Yeah.
messed up. And I am that's just it's just off the top of my head my guess, because
Yeah. This
you
is
know
shit you should bring up with Lauren. And I
okay.
think that's the first swear I've said all podcasts. Let me reference that. I've been doing good not swearing.
Oh yeah, have you?
Well, yeah, I think I've really been paying more attention to it. Lauren has been on
Nice.
me about it. Like,
Cool.
yep.
Cool.
Anyhow, and this is something you should bring up with Lauren because
Okay.
one of the things that did you see? Oh, dang it, Split. Tell me you saw Split.
I have
dude.
not seen Split, dude. I need to watch it.
Oh,
I think it's on Amazon Prime for free, so I'm definitely gonna
dude,
hit it up.
watch
good,
that
yeah?
movie, dude. Listen, Lauren sat me
Okay.
down, and I like that James McAfee.
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. Um, he plays such a good role. I liked him, so Lauren was like, "You got to watch this movie with me."
And that's an Eminem and a Shyamalamalan movie, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Shyamalama Ding Dong.
yeah, but don't watch that movie.
Don't tell me anything else. I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
I know it's good. I don't need to. Yeah.
Crazy, bro, dude. Because I sat down and watched that movie. Lauren's like, "Well, Joe, it's a psychological movie," and I'm
Thriller,
like,
yeah.
"Oh," I'm like, I thought, no. That's what my brain went to was like thinking it's a thriller, which it is.
I don't.
but
Okay.
it's
I don't.
a
I really
psych-
don't. I don't want to
but
talk
it's
about
a
it anymore.
Psychological movie.
Okay.
It's
I don't want to talk about it
psych-
anymore.
it's
I
about-
need to.
it's
Yeah.
about psychology.
But speaking of which, and how you mentioned
And what
Lauren,
happens at the end, dude? In that
and the way it ends is that the dude comes in the door and it was the other guy the whole time.
Oh,
Talk to Lauren. Find out when she's available to do a podcast, dude, because I want to do one.
yeah, she'll probably jump on.
Cool.
You gotta get Lauren. You gotta get Lauren. Give her a couple drinks. Let her loosen up a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah,
She
why
did
not?
fine in the interview.
I'm sure she did do fine in the interview, but she's
you
sitting
listen to
down
it?
and
Did you listen to her interview?
yeah, I did.
It's
Did I
good.
listen
It
to
was
the
good.
whole thing? Wait a minute.
It was good.
I don't
Very
think I
good.
listened to the whole thing. I didn't. I didn't listen to Lauren's whole thing. I listened to Jackie's, my mom's, my dad's. I actually started with Lauren's,
Mm-hmm.
But then I was at one point on Lauren's, and I walked into the bedroom, and she was at another point on her own.
Oh, okay.
And I started listening to that, and all of a sudden I was like, nah, and I just went to my parents, and I just never went back to them. But yeah, Split's really wild to think about. That my brain went to that, but the different things that our brains can truly create and really manifest physically for people.
Yeah.
Because your brain's controlling your eyes to see that
Well, yeah,
thing.
your brain controls your reality.
Everything,
Yeah,
exactly.
all of it.
Hmm. Yeah, like it really is legit possible for us to just be batteries in the Matrix.
Yeah, dude.
That is
exactly.
100% possible.
Well, it's funny because when you mentioned before the idea that it's so crazy that like people build off of each other's ideas and technologies and blah blah blah, that phenomenon right there, if phenomenon might not be the right word, but
Yeah, because that means it's actually happening.
Well, what that makes me wonder about is that it's like maybe it is a simulation, because maybe it just sometimes it feels all too convenient that we exist at this point in time, because it feels like I think everybody always feels like that we're in a transitionary time, for the human race. I think it probably always feels that way.
That's one of the things that I've always said about religion too, is religion is good for people because it does
absolutely.
The underlying thought of that, faith itself in that, Jake, is what makes science feel better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why do our hearts beat, dude? Why do our hearts beat? Well, it's a muscle. Yeah, but there's legitimate energy that is making that happen.
Sure.
There is a pulse.
Yeah, genetic information. Yeah.
That is causing that to occur, that thing knows how to do that, and that's what pumps all the blood, keeps everything going, gets oxygen in my brain, and that's how I survive.
Sure.
Everything that we fucking dispose of, dude, has energy still in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, dude. It's just
it does. Well, that's the thing.
So
that's why wood.
Scientifically, it's a legit thing. Scientifically, it's a legit thing. But we want to believe that it goes somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is great to feel. But the thing is that why wouldn't it if it is legit random energy? You know?
Wait. So what are you talking about exactly? Because I was talking about.
I'm talking about how like faith is really important. How it's good for people to have the idea of something beyond what we're doing now.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
I thought that's where you were going.
An underlying kind of.
Comfort.
No, I mean all I was saying is that the What the fuck did this dude say? Hold on a second.
Come on, really, dude? You got fucking text messages going right now? You're gonna edit this out.
I don't know what that means. Of course I'm gonna edit it out.
You're an asshole, dude. I'm gonna keep saying that. He edited it out. That's what it's gonna be. It's now from now on. I'm like, just so you know, he edited something out.
There's something that you're not ever gonna hear.
I'm gonna bring that up randomly in every podcast.
You remember episode 11? There was something you're never gonna hear from it.
I'm gonna write that fucking shit down right now.
Right down, right now.
All right, go ahead.
So all I was saying was that it's it makes me wonder the way the world is right now, or the way the world exists from my perspective outward, or it just makes me feel like the world's just so amazing, and I have access to all the information I want to possibly learn about. And I wonder, is the time, did 1600 really exist, or is it just a created history to explain what would have happened before if you were to create our world as a universe? You have to explain what would happen before that, and before that.
No, but this is the thing though. But no, that could be a legit no.
If you're writing a story, you have to decide what the universe looks like around that story.
Right.
And there has to be a history before it. You don't have to necessarily have to go too deep into it, but
as soon as you plug something like that in, the idea of what we're talking about is a matrix or something like that,
right.
Everything being created and everybody's
like when you flip it on.
As soon as you flip it on, history essentially has become recorded. You know what I'm saying? Like as soon as you turn something like that on, history is being written as it occurs.
Right, but what I'm saying,
but still have that backup aspect of it.
Well, what I'm saying is that if when I woke up this morning was when the Matrix got turned on.
I think we're in a time travel paradox, though, if you think about it. with no, I'm talking about our conversation itself, because if we're talking about like it possibly being the future from what we conceive it as, Jake,
No, I don't
then a movie.
necessarily mean that. I'm not going into that aspect of it. I'm just saying that hypothetically, if me waking up this morning was when the Matrix got turned on, regardless of what
Oh,
the other thing, what the real world, quote unquote, actually looks like.
actually, cool.
If
Okay.
if this morning when I woke up was the moment it got turned on, my memories of yesterday or 10 years ago or my childhood are artificial. I wouldn't know the difference.
Right. Right.
And by the
I see
same
what you're saying.
token, the year 1600 is also artificial. You know, when the year, or like for, whenever our country was founded or whatever, it's, I'm thinking of it as actual history, but it could just be a programmed explanation for how we got to where we are now.
Where
You
we
know what
are
I mean?
now.
And I wouldn't know
I
the
see what you're
difference.
saying. Yeah, that makes sense.
And I wonder, and my point is the world is just so amazing right now. The way technology is, it makes me wonder, like, I guess I could probably believe that, because the idea of a simulation wouldn't even be feasible to me to consider if technology didn't exist in the state that it does right now.
That it does right now.
You know what I mean? Because it's just further than what we can accomplish. And if you go any further back, I wouldn't even understand what you mean by a simulation. You know what I mean? That's kind of my point.
Wow, that's a really wild thought to think about in that
Yeah,
aspect,
I
Jake.
know, and that's the only reason I think that it's kind of feasible to think that maybe it is a simulation, because we just so happen to be
So
in the,
Billy,
because if it was in the
in the
50s,
time that we can understand what a
what a
simulation even
simulation is and
fucking
what it would
is.
take to
Try to
accomplish it.
explain that shit to some dude chopping wood to keep his family warm through
Exactly,
the winter,
exactly, dude.
like with
That's exactly
fucking
my point.
salted meats
Right,
in a
right,
box
yeah,
sitting out.
exactly. Before there's even electricity, try to explain to somebody what a simulation is.
Yeah.
You know, even 100 years ago, you're not going to be able to explain it to somebody, and I don't,
No, I
and I
feel like
wasn't
we'd
around then.
probably
So
be able to explain it to somebody to some. Well,
how
I
would you
don't
do
know.
it? Go ahead, try. Pretend I don't
Talking
know
about
anything about computers or any sort of technology. All I know is that I go to the farm, I feed the pigs. My wife rings the bell for dinner. I come inside. I know nothing.
Do you
Go,
know? Do
go.
you know after dinner when you get all ready and you lay down
Mm-hmm.
and you close your eyes and you sleep for the night?
Okay.
You know how you're have dreams?
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, I have the ability to bring you somewhere where I can turn on your dreams all the time.
How?
Magic.
And then I
And
murder
black
you.
magic.
Then I
Then you
kill
murder
you.
me. Yes, because
Then I
I'm a
murder
witch,
you.
dude. Yes,
Yeah, right.
exactly.
Yep. I go, oh,
Exactly.
that's cool. I'll be right
Oh,
back with a
oh, that's
posse,
cool. With the,
and
yeah, we're gonna.
you're
I'll
dead.
be right back. I gotta grab the torches and the
Yeah,
pillagers.
I got a
I
couple
gotta go
dozen people
grab
that
the
would
rest of the
love to hang
townspeople.
you right now.
Jake, you know what? Me and you just solved the problem. This is a simulation.
Oh my god. We just we just figured it out, dude.
Cross the bridge again. Again, you and I are constantly crossing bridges, dude. We're always getting over to the
Dude,
other
I can't
side.
wait for you to listen to the conversation I had with my buddy Albert last night, man.
Yeah, dude. You know what it
It
is,
was a
Jake? I gotta
good one.
tell you, it's hard. It's hard sometimes to listen to other conversations with you in them because I want to fucking talk.
Mhm.
I wanna be like, oh, well, what about this? Oh, what about it? It depends on
Mhm.
the mood I'm in too. It
Mhm.
depends on the mood I'm in and the game I might play. Sometimes I can throw a mindless game on and listen to a good podcast where it's background, but I absorb it.
Sure.
And that's how I listen to stuff twice sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, you ever? I don't know. I don't know what we should talk about now. I don't know if you want to stay on the somewhat on the same
I think I
subject.
had, what did I have? Oh, I had one more thing about
Yeah.
weird sense. Well, one of the things I do want to mention is that when we talk about senses, and I know this isn't news to you, but for anybody that might be listening that's familiar with the concept of the five senses: touch, taste, smell, sight, and I don't know, hearing. I think that's what the main five.
I don't know. I don't know. We both have headphones on. Maybe hearing. I don't
Yeah, hearing.
hearing.
Well, my point
I
is
don't know.
that we have many, many more senses,
Oh yeah.
and I just was trying to, because I'm aware of the fact that we have like 20 plus senses or whatever.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember what the basic five are that you teach in preschool, the five senses, whatever.
Yeah.
And a lot of people still think that we have five senses, but if you think about it, we have temperature sensing, we
Well,
have
that's also
hunger,
yeah.
balance. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? What are some other ones? Uh, I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but there's
That's
a
the
bunch
thing
of
too,
other
dude. Is
ones.
there's other, yeah. Well, dude, you can feel static in the, you can feel static in the air. Your
Sure.
hair
Yep.
stands up and
Yep.
stuff like that. That's a reaction to the
Yeah.
follicles
Air
themselves.
pressure.
Well,
You
air
know, you can.
pressure, you
Yep.
can feel the pressure difference, or maybe haven't you
Wetness,
experienced
wetness and
wetness?
dryness,
Well, that's that. See, but that's
pain,
probably
pain
considered
sensation.
touch. Maybe
Well, maybe.
that's touch.
Well, the sense of touch is kind of like, are you touching something or not, or like, what's the texture of it, you know?
That's true too.
But pain is a totally different thing,
Yeah.
which happens in your brain in a totally different way than things like, um, texture and stuff like that. So I don't know. The point is, we do have. My point is just that we have many more senses than the basic five, and
Yeah, yeah.
it's worth mentioning
It is. Well,
because a
that's
lot of the
pretty
things we're
much what we
talking about
talked
involve just those basic five,
Mm-hmm.
other than magnetic sensing. Um, but have you heard of those? Have you heard of the people? And I'm sure you have, but the people who are born blind or became blind at a very young age and then learned echolocation,
Yes, I have.
dude. Yeah, they do the
That
clicking.
dude that walks around and
Yeah.
and he's like, and he'll stand in front of like, I'm pretty sure this is
You can like ride a bike down the street
Yeah, dude, that's insane.
and not hit anything, and like
Oh,
know where there's a curb coming, and hear a car, and like a person, or a dog, and a garbage can. It's been
One of the
and
things-
he can do it so well, he could teach other blind people how to do it,
How
even
to
if they're
do
like
it,
an
dude.
adult.
Well, this is the thing too, though, Jake, is that's adaptation. That's an adaptation kind of thing. But you know
Yes.
what's crazy is that because it's a
But the
because
point
he's
is, the
blind,
ability's there. The
the
ability's there
ability is
already.
there. The ability, well, that's the thing, is the ability to adapt, Jake, is there. But the thing is that that can't become a genetic thing. The genetic default is that he was born blind, right? So him
No,
training
not
himself to do
necessarily. Some of the people who do it became blind at a young age. Some of them just are blind. If you can
Okay,
teach an
but this is the
adult,
thing, but this is the thing, is you're going to learn how to do that, and
Mhm.
unless you have a kid that's blind, there's no reason why you would keep that trait and keep that ability.
well, if you practice it, or if you just spent a lot of time in the dark or something like that,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Um,
Well, you know what? I used to do that when I was younger.
Well,
I
yeah,
would
but the
look
point
in,
is,
I would
Joe.
look in rooms. I would look in rooms and then flick the light off
Yep.
and navigate right through and sense where I was. I remember doing that a lot in the basement, dude. I grew up in my parents' house.
Do you remember the basement where we used to have the strobe light? We used to
Oh,
wrestle
God,
with the
yeah.
strobe light,
With the
and we turn
fucking
on
thing,
like
it would
blink,
be a random
blink,
blink, and we'd
blink.
be right in each other's
Yeah, it'd be like,
faces.
you'd be like across the room, and I don't hear anything, and then it blinks, and you're like over there, and then it
Yeah.
blinks, and you're like over there. Dude, it
Yeah.
was like a real life horror
was
movie, dude. It was amazing.
Dude, that was the best, dude.
Yeah.
You know what kills me, dude, is I would be so freaked out to do that nowadays, dude.
I know, right?
I imagine that. Oh, dude,
Oh.
that actually sounds like fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
it'd
that's
be
the thing.
fun.
That's what I always, every single time I ever turned that, I would wonder where the hell that thing went. It must have kept working. I never changed a bulb in it, but dude, I always.
It was like a
remember
halogen bulb too, wasn't it? Like super bright, crazy
that's-
bulb.
doing
Yeah,
that.
blinding.
I would do that to people, and I would be all nonchalant. And you know how long my legs are, dude. And I
Mhm.
already had it planned out. I would like,
Mhm.
oh yeah, check this out, man. Just sit right there, because people's reaction when something like that happens is to not move at all.
Like,
People, well, not even when they first, it's not even me coming at them. It's just that instinctual thing that like the lights went out. You're just like, all right, wait.
yeah, like.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
dude, and then I would get right up on them, dude. Right up on them, dude.
Right in their face.
Oh yeah.
Like,
dude.
whoa, why do I smell onions all of a sudden?
I remember doing it to people. I can't remember who, but I remember doing it a couple times where, because I got that thing to just blink every like. It was like
It was like
every
every
other
it was like every 5 seconds or something, dude.
It was
Because it had a speed dial on it.
Yeah, dude.
And if you turned it up, it'd be like ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, but if you turned it down, it was like doop.
just before it shut off,
Doop.
dude. I would actually, yeah.
Doop.
Dude, I remember getting right up on people and breathing on them before the light went back on, and then being
Yeah.
like, "What?" And then recoiling them like, and I would see the flash. Of,
Yeah, the flash of their face, like ah.
that was what was so cool about it.
That's
is
awesome.
Those random flashes
Yeah.
of people's reactions to things in that.
Mm-hmm.
Strobe lights were fun, but it was only the slow flashing strobe light
Yep.
was the shit, dude. That
Yeah.
was the way that
Yeah, it
strobe
was
light should have
awesome.
been used. Oh man, we have a good. I think my wife. Oh, I was like, my wife vacuuming right now, but she was using the recliner.
The nerve.
Mm.
How dare she? It's
But that was
podcast
the
time.
shit, right? Dude, have you ever seen anything about oxbow lakes?
No.
Okay. I almost want you to watch it. Listen, one of the YouTube channels I really think that you should start watching, you would really, really enjoy, is called Smarter Every Day. If
Oh,
you
yeah, I've
don't
heard of
watch
that.
it, oh,
Yeah.
dude, awesome. I don't even know why my brain went to that, but I don't. I feel like I watched a video of him explaining how lakes go from like straight to starting to curve.
Lakes?
Lakes or rivers. I'm sorry,
Oh.
lakes, rivers. How rivers will slowly start to start to curve. Like it'll
Hmm.
be like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then
It'll become
slowly,
like a
like it'll
solely a C shape or like an S shape
exactly.
kind of,
But what
yeah.
happens is that they'll continue to go, continue to go, continue to go, and then all of a sudden the water will rush through it. Well,
Oh,
then
okay.
there's called what's an oxbow lake, which is the leftover bit of the river
That
that is
closed
just
itself off kind of.
exactly it closed itself
Oh,
off.
okay.
And a lot of times what happens is there's crazy fish species that get stuck in there and everything like
Hmm.
that.
So we're taking a hard left turn topic-wise now. Totally different. Just to be
Totally,
clear, this is
completely,
not
yeah,
going to
completely.
relate to human senses in any way.
Um, nope,
Okay.
nope,
Continue. Sorry.
yeah, no, it's all right.
Just want to make sure.
Totally changing subjects. Um, but yeah, I was like watching a special about it, and I saw it in a couple, or I just basically saw it quick in one of these fishing shows or something like that. But then I really started looking into it and how it all happens, and it's really wild because it's affected by like a muskrat or something like that will
Hmm.
build a dam, like build a home, which
Hmm.
is normally like beavers and muskrats and stuff. They build stuff over and then build a mound underneath, so they have a
Hmm.
cavity underneath,
Right.
and they swim under stuff and come up to their dry
Yeah.
area secured by the rest of the debris and
Yep.
everything. What will happen is that the entrances of these things start to just have that little bit of an opening at the bottom. So
Hmm.
water will start coming in and then rushing. And when it rushes to the other side of a straight lake or straight river, it rushes in and then it comes to this side,
Right.
collecting more sediment slowly and
Right.
slowly and
And it
slowly
builds it
on
up.
that one side, and it
Yeah.
builds it up, which causes it to
The water to divert
react
around it. Yeah.
exactly
Hmm.
again. So then it continues the process, and I was like, holy crap!
So
First of all,
like two rodents can create
yeah,
a river
can
to
create,
cause a river
can
to
rate, but it
meander.
not, but dude, it can take a river that could travel 2 miles to something that could be 100 miles, bro.
That's
If
wild.
you really think about it, Jake,
Yeah,
over the
yeah, that's
over
true.
over years and years and years and years and millions of years of this
Yeah,
happening
because
in all
because
these
if it's just going
places,
from A to B in a straight line, but then it suddenly, over time ends up
it's
with all these
gotta
zigzags
just
in it and stuff. Yeah.
exactly. And who's to say
Wow.
that when one of these oxbow lakes
And it's
isn't
still the
created,
same
that
water
that
volume.
all of a yeah, it's not changing.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Obviously, unless it droughts and stuff like that. But I mean,
Sure.
dude,
Sure.
it's unreal.
Interesting.
This is an unbelievable planet. It
Yeah. It
really is
really.
a
Have you
wild,
watched
wild.
Planet Earth 2 yet?
I swear to God, as soon as I said unbelievable planet, I thought about how Tyler told me that was he watched it and it was on.
Dude,
I heard it again. I
so
have
good.
not watched any of it yet.
Planet Earth and Planet. You know what? All those nature documentaries that the BBC produces are bananas, dude. All the ones that
Phenomenal.
like Wildest China. That's a really good one. Or like
Yeah.
the Galapagos. All those ones, dude. I think it's on Planet Earth 1 where it has the segment about the aquatic iguanas.
Yeah, I think that was
The
actually one of
ocean
the things I
iguanas,
remember.
dude.
The ocean iguanas.
What? They're like the
All of them
gnarliest
standing on the rocks,
animals.
jumping off.
Yeah, and they're just covered in like crystallized salt, and the waves are just smashing on them, and they're just holding on to
just
the thing.
standing there.
Yeah, and there's like there's I think it's crabs, like crabs that crawl on them and pick off like their dead skin that gets like all crunched off from the salt crystallizing and stuff, and they just go down and they swam down and zigzag and eat the seaweed and come up, and they're just
And
like
it's
they're
really
extra.
cool
They have
to
all these
watch them.
extra horns and shit on them than the regular iguana. It's
It's
so
awesome
badass,
to watch
dude.
them go underwater too, because they'll swim and there'll be a rock and they'll grab it and like
Yeah,
propel off of it as they
yeah,
swim.
and like ride the current back
crawling on
away
it.
from the rock, and
It's
it's
very
so
creepy.
badass, man. So badass. What do you
Yeah,
hear?
it is. It's wild.
You good?
I don't know, dude. I'm constantly on edge.
Oh, well, you could probably hear my dog.
Oh
Making
God,
weird
what is he
noises.
choking a meatball up, dude? What the fuck was that?
Well,
bro?
my dog is. Oh, by the way, all this time I thought my dog was a Yorkie. Turns out my dog is what's called a
sick
dorky,
dog?
a dorky, which
Oh,
is
God, here we go.
a half
Here we
dachshund
go.
and a Yorkie. So it's called a dorky. thought that was
You're
pretty
full of
funny.
shit. You're
I'm
fucking with me, right?
Google it, bro. I'm not fucking with you. I wish I was.
Pick your
I
dog
wish
up.
I was. I
Pick your
wish I
dog
was
up.
that
Let me see
clever.
him. Let me see it.
Gracie,
Forget it.
come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, pup.
Oh god, it legit says dorky dog.
She has a long snout that Yorkies typically don't have. The coloration.
Yeah, that's
Look
a
up a
dorky,
picture
bro.
of a dude. Exactly the same, right?
You know what dog that is? You know what dog that is? Oh my god, throwback for people that have seen this movie. Labyrinth. The dog that goes around with the girl that rides the other dog, like the little dog troll thing
Not
that rides the
familiar.
other dog.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, damn it! I wish we had a thing that I can like just instantly give you links.
Well, we could probably arrange that for the future.
Yeah, we need to set that up, dude. I need to get my fucking holes drilled first and get a wired connection
yeah.
first.
Yeah.
He does, dude. He looks just like him.
She's a dorky.
Oh my god!
Yeah, my
you don't
point
know
was
that movie
that.
Labyrinth? You've never seen Labyrinth?
No, I know what it is. Jim Henson movie with David Bowie in it and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just.
That's what he started the fucking Foshigo balls, dude. He started Foshigo balling in that
Oh
one.
really? No shit.
Yeah, it was like dude, it was the first time I've ever seen anything like it. Yeah, but that
Wow.
was in that movie. You'll see it. Look it up.
I'm not gonna watch it.
You're not gonna
Anyway,
watch it, you're an ass. That's exactly what I
Yorkies
said,
and
fuck you.
small dogs like that have a syndrome that's it's like a.
They choke on meatballs.
No, they choke on meatballs. All I feed my dog is really high quality Italian meatballs made by like an old lady who doesn't speak any English. It's all the dog
And
eats.
she hands them right to you.
Hands them right to me, just no bag or
Sauce and all.
anything, 2 at a time, and I take them home. And sometimes she overdoes the breadcrumbs a little bit, and that's what bothers the dog's throat.
Yeah.
No, but small dogs
Could we
like
just
that.
leave it at that?
Yeah, right.
Keep
Podcast
going,
over.
dude. Anyway, so these oxbow lakes, dude, it's
Yeah,
wild
yeah.
because there are some species that have evolved in these oxbow lakes.
That's wild. Like dorkies.
Like dorkies, like a dorky. I think that's actually one of the fish species.
Dorky fish.
It's called a dorky.
Oh man.
Yeah, but it tastes like porky. That was stupid. That was so stupid.
You should have quit while you were ahead, bro.
I wasn't ahead. I didn't think I was ahead. I thought
You
you
were.
made the joke.
We only found out you were ahead after you ended up behind.
No. That sucks.
Yeah. But she has I think she might have like a soft trachea. So if she gets overexcited and starts to breathe too heavy, it can kind of partially collapse a little bit, and then she's like.
This is your theory?
No, it's a common thing. I don't know if she has it for sure, but it is a common thing
This
among
is a common
Yorkies.
thing with those animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to tell you, man. I was
And there's
watching
nothing
this
that can
whole-
be done.
No, there's probably not anything that can be done because that's what we've bred into animals is to
Yeah.
be weak.
I didn't choose her. We found her on the highway.
That's awesome though. That is cool.
Yeah.
You guys saved the dog, and she's nice too, right?
She's the best, dude. She's my little sweetheart.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What are you writing?
I've
What
been
are you
thinking
writing
about-
this down? Stop writing. Don't write this down. Stop.
Fucker, tell me, dude. How do you know, dude? There's so much going on up here, bro, that I have written down. Have you ever seen? I get like.
Yeah, you draw pictures of trees, dude. Whatever.
I don't, dude. I have notes.
Yo,
all
you
over
don't
all
draw the
this
trees
shit.
anymore. You stopped drawing the trees.
Yeah, I don't fuck with the trees no
You
more, dude.
you got your schizophrenia
I didn't do the trees again
cured?
since like the first time, dude. The first podcast, the only one I did that with.
Wow.
No,
That's the
I
quickest.
draw other stuff.
That's the quickest bout of paranoid schizophrenia I've ever seen. You're just in and out of it, huh?
What do you mean? Drawing trees?
Remember I
Oh,
told
yeah,
you
that's
that
right,
the-
you fucker. Yeah, I remember you asshole.
Trying to do a
Nope.
callback, and you're like, huh?
Nope, I've been drawing these instead. Little stars, and
Oh.
squiggly
You don't,
lines.
you don't draw the little S's. You draw the
Mhm.
three lines, and then the other 3 lines, and then connect. them
No, dude, I
across,
like
and-
I like things
You
that
know what I'm talking about?
I like things that connect. Like I'll draw a bunch of stars in a row because you can just continuously draw stars and they
Ah,
connect. So they
okay.
scribble and scribble. Sometimes I actually sign my signature like that, just a bunch of stars. But I do it so fast and sloppy that people don't even notice it. They look like it's a fucking signature.
Interesting. Isn't
That's
that such a
very
funny
interesting.
thing? The idea of a signature, that it's
Dude,
like so
It's
old timey.
So stupid.
It's so old-timey and
old-timey.
weird, dude.
So old timey, dude.
I like how I can so often like at my job that that I had before, the boss would like send me to go buy something with his credit card, and I would just guess at maybe how he might sign his name, and that's
I don't
like,
even. I sign my name.
wow,
Anybody gives me that, dude,
super
I sign
secure.
my shit. I
Yeah,
sign my shit. Completely different. Dude,
All
you
the
don't
time.
get those anymore. Oh, speaking of which, I gotta leave a note, dude. Just fucking me and Lauren had a transaction on one of our bank accounts, dude. I cannot figure out what it was for.
how much?
Enough that I'm fucking concerned.
How much?
Not $1.
Like $100?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hmm.
Somebody tried to buy a bunch of tickets to a Yo Gotti concert in California with my credit card. They tried to buy
Yeah.
like $1,000 worth of like $15 tickets,
Really.
and I didn't have $1,000 in my account, so the bank was like, "This is weird."
This is weird. Someone's trying to spend money they don't have.
Yeah. Hey, did you, we canceled. We just went ahead and canceled these.
You know what it
That was
is, dude?
correct, right? And I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, for sure."
You know what it is, man? Is it's just weird because everything that we use our cards for and everything like that are constantly they say something on the description line.
Yeah.
It'll say where you took the money out, what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like what
Most
what the
99% of
location
the
was.
time. Once in a while, I'll
99% of
have
the
one that
time.
I'm like, I'll know
The
off
only
the amount.
Well, the thing was, dude, is it wasn't like $100. It was like an
Hmm.
odd number of money. It
Joe,
wasn't like in
Joe,
intervals of 20s.
listen. You need to just own the fact that you're buying gay porn on the internet. You don't have to overcompensate and
It
try to
wasn't.
listen. The credit card company, Joe, is not going to listen to our podcast. You don't have to come on here and go, "Oh, there's this weird trend." You don't have to do that, dude. It's just own it, man.
By the way, what the fuck was with your text message the other day? That was good,
Oh, you like that,
dude. That was awesome. Because I was like sitting there and I'm like, wait, what? And then like it didn't really, and I saw like the toenail painting thing.
Yep.
And when you said it at first, I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Oh, he must have meant to send that to like Jessica because it was cute, dude. But
Okay,
then all of a
so
sudden I'm like,
I'll give a visual for the people that can see this.
keep
Let it
coming
focus.
in. It's got two
And I'll
guys.
tell. Yep, it's two men holding
then-
hands, then two
and
men
then-
wrestling, two men kissing, a pointing finger, and then a circled finger, and then painting nails, an open mouth, an eggplant,
and water
and
droplets.
wetness droplets. And then I just said, "Sorry, wrong thread."
But when he did it, I'm like, whoa, 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 wait a minute, wait a minute. And then he capitalizes. I said wrong thread. It was awesome. So
And you're the
listen.
only one who replied. That was a little disappointing.
Oh, well, yeah, that was, yeah.
The
I
other
don't know,
guys were
dude.
probably like,
Oh, dude, I was in a thread today, dude. People were talking, and I was just like, I was getting real frustrated, dude. It was frustrating the hell out of me, but I just let it go.
Why?
I'll talk about it. It was just shit I'll talk to you about later.
Oh, okay.
Anywho, well, later when we game,
Anywho, sure.
speaking of gaming,
Mm-hmm.
bro, and it probably
You
won't
gonna tell
happen
me about
again
it
for a
again?
long time.
You
I'm
tell me
not
about it
gonna. I'll talk to
again?
you about it later.
Okay.
Just so everybody else out there knows.
They were kicking shit in
I went fucking
Battlefront.
ham. And I'm gonna swear that one time, but I went ham. That was two. That's two total. I'm
Ham?
pretty sure that's only two total.
You could say ham. That doesn't count as a swear.
No. You'll listen to it again, and I swore.
I heard you
I
swear the
said-
first time.
Exactly, and that's why I said once, but I said the shit word earlier.
Oh, okay. That was. Oh, you were
Well,
counting
dude, Cameron's,
the as
Cameron's straight saying it all the time now.
shit.
Cameron's shoe falls off. Shit.
No way.
Dude, I'll drop something from across the room. He looks. I'm like, damn.
Oh,
And it was me,
no.
dude. It was totally
Well,
me.
it's so
dude.
funny,
he
dude,
hurt me
'cause-
outside. I slipped on the ice, dude. He was standing right there. I had him in my arms, actually. Wow, it's snowing hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's snowing really, really hard, and the plows are out. The roads are covered. He's a sponge, bro. He's a sponge.
Yeah. They tend to be. Well, it's funny because we were talking about that, a few podcasts ago, and it's like, I mean, is it that big a deal if your kid's? It's because when he's around other people, it's going to be a big deal.
It's not though, because this is the thing, man. And you know what? Like, I feel bad because I feel like I'm the generation, dude. That I don't.
Sorry. Oh.
What? Go ahead. What?
I was playing with my thing in the camera, and I thought you were looking at it and paused but I looked at you. and
No,
you were
I
looking
totally
at
didn't. I was looking in the corner of
funny.
my thing.
Weird,
I
weird coincidence.
I don't care
Yeah.
about swears.
It's honestly, dude.
It doesn't bother me, dude.
It's
And
silly,
the only
man.
reason the fact that you're not supposed to use this word. Listen, like saying "God damn it," a little bit more understanding.
If you're religious, sure.
If you're religious, so I get it in that aspect of it, but dude, there's so many good swear words.
They're
I
so
feel
useful.
like they're so easy to use. Dude, I don't care, man. I've been calling people cunts lately.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That's not in my vocabulary. I don't have a problem with it. It's just not in my vocabulary.
I don't know, dude. There's like nothing like being like being a fucking cunt right now.
Yeah,
Not
it's
that
a good
I would,
one.
I would.
It's a good
It's
one. The
it's
other thing, the other one
the
that's kind
best.
of weird too is it's not even really a swear, but pussy.
I
That's a
don't see
weird
to
that's a weird
me.
gray area one. Weird gray area. Is
This
it
is
a
the thing.
swear? It's pretty close.
I think it's because I had this summer where I was hanging out with my buddy and he had Australian roommates.
Okay. Oh, and they just throw cunt around like nothing.
Dude, it's like same fuck around here.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is I feel like
So
wow, you're what is
this is
this?
the thing,
You
though.
can call
Yeah,
somebody a cunt, but depending on the word that comes before, it could be a good or a bad thing that you're calling them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Whatever. I'm almost mad I said it. I told my mom last night too. By the way, BTW. I apologize, but I tried to do as much as I could to not let my mother be an avid watcher of this podcast. So you know,
You told her to watch it?
told her not to
Oh,
watch
not
it.
to watch it.
I said, do not watch the podcast.
Why?
I said, listen to the interviews because I'm talking
Oh yeah, she's
openly,
weird about
Jake.
swearing,
My
right? She's
mom's
always
weird
been
about
real weird
swearing,
about
dude. My
swearing.
mom's weird about knowing certain things about people or me. And it's like,
Hmm.
don't get me wrong, man. My mom is very proud of the person I am. My mom's very happy
Yeah,
with the person
that's the
I've
funny
become.
thing about your
But at the
mom, dude, is
same,
that she just draws these weird arbitrary lines in the sand, and I don't really
and
get
my
why they
mom,
are where they are, you know?
this is
Yeah.
why, Jake.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Yeah.
Which is
Blinders.
fine.
Yeah.
She's got blinders on, dude, and I respect it in a lot of ways, and I get it. And you know what? Like my father said it too, my dad, because my dad was talking to me about how my mom does that kind of stuff, and I'm like, I said, Dad, it is what it is. I said, Dad, I said, you got to think about the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm like, I'm constantly like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
Yeah. The
but I'm
totally
on edge
opposite of
all the time.
blinders.
I'm on
Yeah.
edge all the time, dude. I'm always like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
preparing for shit that I don't need to be worrying about, and
Yeah. It's almost like
you know,
her way of having the blinders on kind of made you go your pendulum swing in the total opposite direction.
it's totally swinging the
Yeah.
opposite direction, dude. Yes. Which is fine because I've
It's
settled
fine. Yeah.
into it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? In a lot of ways, yeah, I want to take that on.
Mm-hmm.
One of the dudes I work with, man, he told me he was like, dude, you got to have amnesia about certain shit.
Sure. Sure.
And he says, mine's about work. I
Yeah.
suggest you try the same. And I'm like, you know what? He's
Just
right.
leave it there. Yep.
He says, bro, you turn that key, you don't got to worry about it again. So you go like this again.
Yep.
That's it, bro. I said, you know what? That's a good point.
Yep.
And he has. He's helped me out a lot, man. I just had a nice
Cool.
long 5 hour meeting. Was it five?
In Rhode Island.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, that kicked my ass last night, dude. That kicked
Yeah.
my ass yesterday. Yeah, it definitely did, dude. Just because I got up early. Was up
Yeah.
at 5. You know what I mean? Which isn't like it's a little bit out of the ordinary for me to get up
Sure.
that early. But then to get
Sure.
in the truck and drive for 2 hours,
Yeah.
be prepared, walking around, talking to people, BS and sit
Mhm.
down, fucking 5 hour meeting. And of
Yeah.
course, you know me, dude, interacting with the meeting, talking to everybody in the meeting. It was cool though, dude,
Yeah.
because it really makes me feel good about where I'm at in this company right now.
You know, I gotta
That's
tell
one
you,
of the
dude,
things.
I totally sympathize with that because when I worked for Whole Foods, there are certain things I do miss about that, you know, and I was 6 years into a legit career, dude,
Yeah.
you know, and I was doing stuff where I would go to, um, you know, meetings in another state and present something to like a lot of people.
Dude,
Like
yeah.
me and one other and I would be responsible for like creating and presenting a presentation,
I know, dude. Oh,
but
whatever.
I was good. I
happened
was
to
pretty
make that
good at
fun?
it. You know what happened with
Yeah,
what the Whole Foods?
I thought that's one of the things that you had the opportunity to be able to go down there and do.
Well, here's the thing. I was in distribution,
Mm-hmm.
and the nearest distribution center to here is like in Atlanta.
Oh,
So
that okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
No,
I
no,
would
no,
have had
no.
to go
You
to
were
a
up here
store.
in a major
Yeah.
distribution center.
I would have had to go to a store, and I have no experience really in retail. So
Yeah.
they're not going to give me the 1940 75 an hour I was making,
Yeah.
you know, with something I have no experience with. So like
Mhm.
I would have to start at a bottom of the ladder
You'd have to,
position,
yeah,
and they're not
which
going
is,
to pay me
and
20
you know
bucks an
what?
hour to
And
do
you would
that.
make moves fast, but then what are you going to be? You're going to be a store manager.
Yeah, fuck
You're
that.
going to be a store manager for a huge thing like that, dude. I
Yeah,
don't
no
know.
way.
What do you think
And
they make a year?
I don't. I mean, a store manager probably makes maybe like 60 or 70.
You think that's all they make?
maybe a little more, maybe closer to 100, but they have students' responsibilities are insane. And they'll do shit like, wow, you did a really good job this year with this store. We're opening up a store in San Antonio, and we would really, really love for you to go down there and manage that store. Yeah, no, that's cool. You have a family, your kids are in school and stuff, but like, we really need you to go down there and
Yeah, but
move your whole life because the company really needs you to go. You're so good. You know what I mean?
dude, companies that do that kind of shit for people take care of people, dude.
I know, but I didn't want that to be my
To
life.
an extent, yeah.
You know
Why?
what I
Why
mean? I don't
bother?
want to do
Why
that.
bother? I hear
And
you. Yep.
right when I was actually considering going back to Whole Foods, it was just after Amazon bought them out. And from what I hear, it has not been going very well for the day-to-day employees of the. You better close your mouth while you sip that, otherwise it's gonna pour everywhere.
Dude, do you think I'm gonna waste the beer? Fuck you.
But yeah, dude, I hear it's not going well.
No.
They're
Huh?
the way they've changed the way they do inventory management and stuff like that. And I guess the people, the
Don't
inventory
talk
man.
shit to a company you might work for again.
I'm not talking shit. I'm just saying the news articles.
Oh.
The information's out there. There's articles
Okay.
about it, about employees like being really like stressed out and insane, like because they're used to operating a certain way, working for Whole Foods, and now they're managed by this gigantic company who has all these weird mathematical ways that they manage inventory and stuff, and they're implementing it in Whole Foods, and people don't know how to handle it. They're freaking out. There's like empty shelves. I mean, I've been in Whole Foods around here. It doesn't look any different to me, other than that there's like a bunch of books by the front of the store and shit, and they sell Amazon Echo like as soon as you walk in. But other than that, I just hear it's not going well. So I have some contacts there still, so I'm curious to talk to them about it. In distribution, I'm curious to hear what the effects are on the distribution level.
I would think that distribution is exactly the problem. If the end game stores don't have the fucking products,
Well, I
you
think
know what they'll do? They could be shipping all around, man. Like,
Well, I don't think it's a problem with shipping. I think it's the fact that they're telling people to manage their inventory just with different methods, because
which is smart, dude.
well, what
Because
they're
this is the thing,
right
dude. Don't
because
just stock
well,
your shelves with what's protocol. Stock your shelves with what's selling, and
well,
sell
I
the
think
shit.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
I think the what's happening is that
The food produce has got
they're training people to have less back stock of things. So it's harder to manage your inventory when you're not allowed to keep back stock
to
of
keep
stuff.
backstop.
And a lot of the stores get deliveries only like 5 days a week. When certain things go in and out of season, there's shortages, blah blah blah. So I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of it. That's why I said I'm curious to talk to some of the contacts I have. But I don't know.
That makes sense.
Cheers, not going so well. So I don't know.
Anywho, I don't know. We've
Anywho.
spiraled. We've
You want to do some
spiraled.
gaming?
We should probably do some gaming. Why not? It's 10
That sounds
o'clock.
good. Yeah.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Yeah, I think that was. We just did. We got an hour.
Yeah,
right?
we're over an hour,
That's
even
awesome.
with the
Good.
cutouts. So
And you know what? Not for nothing, dude, but we had a half-ass over an article. Jake, I gotta tell you, I really do feel like this too, and you know what? I bet you people that listen on a regular basis will probably agree. You and I consistently go back to evolution and stuff like that. I feel like that's
yeah.
probably that and religion and stuff. I feel like we should do like one only about eggplant.
Okay. Like a podcast about eggplant,
You know what
and
I'm
then
saying?
maybe
Like I
like
feel
one
like
about like corn, and then
there
maybe an
you, that's
episode about
yes,
like
all right. One like specifically about that. But the thing is, though,
pork.
is I feel like it's yeah. Oh, we're losing it again. Look it, we're going again.
Are you
I'm
good?
losing it again.
Are you?
I have an
Can you hear me?
I got an unstable connection. I can hear you fine.
Okay. Well,
But it
that's the
just
thing is I
says
wonder like how do we
unstable
structure them because I
connection.
was thinking about today we do weird stuff with human senses and uh, or we do an episode about like food, or like, weird stuff about vegetables or, I don't know. We could structure it any kind of way we want, but we'll take these tangents. We'll come back to a certain topic, whatever, I
Yeah.
don't know.
It's fun.
Oh, I
enjoy
forgot.
this regardless.
I forgot to mention our sponsor for this week.
Oh,
I totally
one?
forgot. We got a
Hey,
sponsor this week.
that's awesome. Dude.
Hold on. Let me get out my paperwork here. So Joe, do you ever find that there's just not enough time in the day that you just wish you were more productive?
Dude, it's one of the first things I said. As soon as we were talking about that earlier, I was saying how time just flies by.
It just flies by, right?
It flies by. It's too much.
Well,
It's too fast. Everything. Fast pace. Always. Never enough
yep.
time.
Well, what if I told you that you could get the productivity increasing benefits of both cocaine and meth conveniently in a chewing gum?
You mean I can open a legal package, chew on it,
That's
and I'm
right.
gonna be.
That's right.
What's it called?
It's called Coca Meth Fresh. Coca Meth Fresh gum, and it comes in wintergreen, peppermint, and classic bubblegum flavors.
No cinnamon? They don't have
Not
cinnamon?
yet. They're experimenting. It's weird. See, I think I have an insider with the company, and he says that the cinnamon has a weird chemical reaction with the meth, and it causes like a
Coca meth gum?
Coca meth gum. Yes. And what happens is the cinnamon has a weird chemical reaction with the methamphetamine in the gum, and you die. You
that
just
makes
die
sense.
when you
You
chew
just
it.
die. It's
Yeah,
all right. I'll stick it to
and
itself.
that's not the R&D that they've done for the product has had less than promising results. They gave it to like a couple
Sounds-
dozen people, they all
Doesn't
died.
matter. Regardless, no cinnamon. Fine. That's no
Yeah,
problem.
no cinnamon.
I'm a peppermint kind of guy.
they're working
anyway.
on it.
I don't like
Peppermint,
cinnamon.
wintergreen, and classic
like
bubblegum
cinnamon.
flavor.
Not a buffalo chicken, more of a barbecue kind of guy anyway. You know what I'm saying there?
They do have a barbecue flavor in the works as well. It's I believe it's blueberry chipotle, I think is the specific flavor they're going for. Blueberry chipotle barbecue flavor. And yep, so
All right, so
Coca Meth gum gives you all the productivity and actually a little bit of weight loss features to it as well, because it's a metabolism booster.
this is the thing. I
And
want to know.
you know, if
am I
you
gonna be
have
able to
15
sleep?
minutes, you have 15 minutes to clean your whole house. Coca Meth
Am
gum.
I going to be able to sleep?
Oh no, definitely not. Definitely not. Definitely a middle of the day kind of thing.
Sleep.
No, it's the kind of thing where you really want to take it in the middle of the day, or if you don't want to sleep, it's a great thing. Just a quick disclaimer: the entirety of every aspect of your mouth, teeth, tongue, lips, throat, all become 100% completely numb when you chew this gum. So just be prepared for that. And
Dude.
if you we'll post a link below the podcast. You can print out a manufacturer's coupon to get 25% off your first pack of Coca Meth gum. Bring it to any convenience store. Yeah, you can't order it. It's just sold in convenience stores.
Stuffandthings.com will it come in a box?
Yes, actually, I do believe stuffandthings.com does sell Coca Meth gum. Because I think that falls under the things category. No, that's a stuff category. I think that'd be
You know what?
stuff.
I just got a link too. You know what?
What's that?
If you use promotion from tonight's podcast, Oxbow Lake,
Oxbow Lake.
Oxbow Lake, it gives you. They just sent me a message, an extra 15% off.
Awesome. Oh, they're listening live. Oh, that's
Extra
awesome.
15% off Oxbow. Oxbow Lake is your promo code.
That's great.
Extra 15%.
So that's a
off
total
on
of
your
40%.
14th order.
That's a total of 40%.
On your 14th
Oh, your
order.
14th order. Okay, I got it. So once you're good and hooked on your Coca Meth gum, about 2 weeks in, because it's going to be a pack a day kind of thing.
It's going to be a pack a day kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And
That's
I do have to
but
read also.
It's 14th order on.
Oh, that's great. That's
it's a 15%
great.
but you need to start buying today.
I'm suspicious
so,
though.
right?
Is it the kind of thing where like they give you the good stuff for your first couple orders,
I don't know.
and then once
I'm going to try mine.
they
I've got mine
their
here.
hooks in you.
I want my package. I'm waiting for it. I'm going to try it out.
It was great, man. I tried out the Coca Meth gum, and I was able to stay up for 6 days straight. It was wonderful.
Days on end.
6 days straight. I lost 30 pounds.
30 pounds. You only weighed 77 pounds.
I weigh exactly. So I was down to about 30 pounds. It was great, man. I was looking real slim. Had that real nice thigh gap going.
You got it. I got the thigh gap. All right, listen. This was Jake. This was awesome. I'm really happy we're doing this again.
This is wonderful.
I missed you. I apologize to any fans, which I have fucking zero. I'm sure. Well, me personally, I'm saying nobody tunes in for me.
Shout out to whoever's listening to the podcast in
for real.
Hollywood,
Legitimately.
California. Oh, hold on. Let me just do a quick pull up and do specific city shout outs because they're very real. They're very real.
Oh, I'm losing you again, dude.
That's okay. Well, you didn't freeze yet. Just let's
Alright.
just let me. I'll be quick. I'll be quick. And even if you cut out, I'll still do the shout out. And then if we cut out again, let's just end
I'm
it.
done.
And
Yeah.
and I'll see you on
Um,
Xbox.
Yeah.
We have.
But I
let's
do
see.
appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks to everybody who listens to it. We got. Come on, loading. United States. And somebody in the Bronx, in New York, is listening to us. Thank you so much. Ashburn, Virginia, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Providence, Rhode Island, Hollywood, California, Hartford, Connecticut, Pompano Beach, Florida,
Hartford, CT.
Mountain View, California, and a bunch of other places that I'm not sure which state they're in. But shout out to everybody who's listening. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Shoot us an email, superserialint@gmail.com. I want to meet you, find out how you heard about us. And what do you got? Oh, a picture of you and I can't see what your computer screen is.
It's fucking you frozen again.
Oh, it's me frozen right now?
No, it's just a
okay.
representation of how it continuously happens.
Cool.
Yo,
Well,
you're good
anyway.
now. Hi, you're back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Super Serial, Jake. We've got you unfrozen as
Oh,
the president.
by the way, I listened back to like episode 8 or whatever when you said that you were the host of the podcast. I didn't catch that as you said it. I caught it afterward. No, I didn't catch it, dude. That happens a lot that I don't catch something that somebody else said, either in an interview or on with the podcast with you. I don't catch something and then I'll listen to it later and catch it and I'm like, oh, I'm retarded because I acted like I totally heard what they said and I did not at all.
You're a shit fucking host.
Yeah, I'm a shit host. Well, hey, you know what? What difference does it make to you if I pretend like I heard what you said or I actually heard it? You clearly didn't realize
Valid,
it.
I
So
guess.
at the time,
Well, just so you know, I'm not fucking full of shit like you are, dude.
That's fine.
I don't know.
All right, cool.
I don't know where that came from.
Let's wrap this up.
I just want to go play some.
Let's go play Battlefront.
Xbox. All right,
Cool.
hey, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being here.
Appreciate you. Mwah. Hugs and kisses, everyone.
Hugs and kisses, everyone. Have a safe Saturday night, huh? Anybody in New England, watch out for the snow. Drive safe.
Watch out for the snow. Drive safe. Watch out for the...
Don't spay and neuter your animals. They don't like that shit. They want their fucking nuts and balls, eggs, and fucking ovaries and shit.
That's our message for this week. Don't
spay and neuter your animals. Let them fucking
let them
run loose
let them
like wild fucking
let them
beasts.
make babies.
That's what they are.
It's what nature intended.
Quit putting them in fucking cages and locking
Yep,
them in your
let 'em
goddamn
run
basement.
out.
They don't want to be there.
We're
they want to
talking-
be outside fucking the broad next door. You know what I'm saying? Who doesn't? You know what I mean?
No collars, no chips, no vaccines. Let nature take its course. That's our message for this week, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.
That was great, dude.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was great.